Are you an entrepreneur or business owner that wants to hear real answers to burning questions from highly successful people? My name is Cameron Quinn, and I recently got the opportunity to sit down with and interview prominent businessman Vijay Aswaran. Vijay is on the Forbes Malaysian Top 50 Rich list and has a company that exceeds $750 million in revenue. And I started by asking him about how he sees his role in business.
My primary job, as I keep telling everybody, being CEO or chairman doesn't really explain it. My primary job is as a disruptor. So I go in and disrupt essentially more often than not, challenge their thought processes and say, okay, why do we need to do it this way? Why not another way? It's been 17 years since I started the company, and virtually a year or so before that, I left, I started on my own. And say about 18 years ago, I walked away from a company that I had virtually turned around as a CEO, but I wasn't the owner of the company, So I had a handshake agreement. I turned the company around from the red to the black, poured my heart and soul into it, and at the end of the day, the company got sold out right under my feet. But a couple of years later, when I started this company, and I had to start from scratch, basically dealing with all kinds of challenges. All of that I had gone through previously became immensely valuable. I couldn't put a value to it. So all of that turned out to be a massive favor. The way I look at it is essentially there's, no flaws in the master plan, so to speak. There was a good reason I went through what I did, and I'm glad I did, because the final product was not the company. I had fooled myself for a while thinking, okay, it was the company, but it's not. The final product was me. But the reality is, to an entrepreneur, he cannot think like an employee. You think like an employee and you're doomed to think like an employee. You're doomed to die like an employee. If you love something, it's not work. So if you love what you're doing, you don't have to work a single day in your life. An entrepreneur is in love with what he does. It's like telling Picasso, man, you can only paint from 9 to 5. And then after that, you got to do overtime. It doesn't make sense. When you are building something and you're in love with it, you just do it. There's nothing else. You see, and you do it till it's done. You don't sit down and benchmark yourself. No entrepreneur benchmarks himself against someone else. He only benchmarks himself against what he did last. Simple as that. So if you're constantly worried about how you look, how many hours you work, what should I do or not do, then you're still not getting the point. The skills that you apply to all businesses remain virtually the same. All right? The technical skills you can avail of, but the drive, the determination, the daring, the dedication, the devotion that you need to develop, a business, intrinsically the same. The most fundamental thing, the most valuable thing that one can utilize in business is simply common sense. And if we don't apply that, we lost before we began. First, of course, you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in what you're doing, and that belief has to transform itself into faith. Where you have faith, the dream becomes, a vision. When you don't have it, then it still remains a dream. And the problem with dreams is that they tend to basically fade away. Failure is a very essential tool. Failure is